All right. You know we live in the boxing steroids age. And ESPN, Top Rank has signed Jarrell Big Baby Miller to a multi-fight contract. And Jarrell Big Baby Miller has the audacity to rub people's face in it by saying that the bad guy, say hello to the bad guy. In his world, the bad guy wins. So he gets he brags about popping dirty. He brags about popping dirty and still getting a multi-fight deal. But hey, man, what do you expect in the world of boxing right now, where it seems like nobody cares that these guys are out there doing what they're doing? And let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. Welcome back to my video crew. Thank you guys so much for continuing to watch the videos. Man, it is pretty much the main source of what we try to do. The centerpiece of the channel really is the videos and OG Boxing Talk. Thank you so much to everybody else, everybody that attends the live streams Monday through Friday and supports on Patreon. We got another Patreon we're gonna put up today. And thank you so much to everybody that joins the channel as a member. People that join the member actually help us sponsor boxers, up and coming boxers who don't have a lot of financial resources. So just to let you know that, the channel does have a purpose. So you guys watching the videos and supporting in that way, it does get around, and we're trying to make it help the boxing community overall. Now, let's get into this. A guy that should probably have been banned for like 3 years just got a multi-fight deal with Top Rank, Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Jarrell Big Baby Miller I guess he could be currently considered a welterweight title contender because he'll get one. It seems like Top Rank is kind of stacking up on heavyweights right now. It has Pulev in position to fight Anthony Joshua. They have Tyson Fury fighting against Deontay Wilder. For some strange reason, Tyson Fury's with ESPN. I still don't get that. Oh, they paid him a lot of money for a couple bum fights. Yeah, so they put some extra money in his pocket. All right, so Tyson Fury is with ESPN. So now you have Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Now, Jarrell Big Baby Miller, the last we saw of Jarrell Big Baby Miller was him humiliating himself by testing positive for about every known performance-enhancing drug on the face of the earth at the same time. Like, what are you trying to do, man? How many of these things do you actually need? So he tests positive for all these performance-enhancing drugs. And that was in the lead-in to a fight that he was supposed to have with Madison Square Garden with Anthony Joshua. And in his United States debut, big deal that they were making about the fight, Jarrell Big Baby Miller pops dirty. So, of course, he gets rewarded. And, well, he lost a lot of money because that was absolutely crazy, man. He was going to get like $7 or $10 million, whatever. He's getting a lot of money to fight it, to be a fall guy for Anthony Joshua. And so he lost on all of that money, but now he has a chance to earn probably a few $1 million a fight, over $1 million a fight for multi-million-dollar deal. I have to assume that's a multi-million-dollar deal with Top Rank, where he'll be able to more than likely get a championship title fight. Now, and the heavyweight division is for the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO is opening up because after Anthony Joshua got knocked out and beat up by Andy Ruiz, it's just not a lot of faith out there, man. And definitely not for me that Anthony Joshua was this big, undefeatable monster that is going to reign over the heavyweight division for, the next 20 years. Nah, man, this is the new Joshua era. No, man, all that crap went out the window when he lost to a short, fat man with very little self discipline. And Then in the second fight, he won the fight. He fought the fight that he should fight, but he pretty much, it looked to a lot of people as if he was fighting scared against Andy Ruiz in a rematch. So that whole aura of invincibility is gone. And I wouldn't be surprised if, he lost. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody beat Anthony Joshua. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't just pick any old body to beat him, but I would not be surprised if he lost. I do truly believe he's going to lose again, and he's going to lose again soon. So, all that's gone. And you now have fights with, he can be put in the rank, he'll be put high in the rankings of the WBO, right? Without a doubt, that's whatever Bob orders. So Jarrell Big Baby Miller is going to be put into one of the top 5 positions. It be put in, in a mandatory position on that WBO route, right? Because look how Bob Arum will work, right? He's got Tyson Fury fighting for the WBC belt. He has Pulev highly ranked in the IBF, and now he's got Big Baby Miller, who's going to be ranked very highly in the WBO. And I would give Big Baby Miller every shot to beat Alexander Usyk. Every shot. Their styles are, as far as their punch output and all that stuff, is very, very similar. I'm also quite sure that Big Baby Miller will have gotten his steroid game together and won't get popped for everything under the sun, right? Kind of like Alexander Povetkin, who popped dirty multiple times. I am not convinced at all that he's reformed in his ways. Why should I be? Why should I be? And why should he be? With all of this lax approach and considerable amount of tolerance that's given by sanctioning bodies and quite honestly, state and government bodies related to it as well. You have this debacle that took place with Dillian White over at UCAD. That was absolutely terrible. So that's, and UCAD is the UK anti-doping agency, or is it the British Boxing Board of Control? Whichever one of those two that ultimately said, I think it's the British Boxing Board of Control that said, yeah, we know you have D-ball in your system, but we like your explanation about why it's there. It's consistent with contamination, even though D-ball is something you actually have to take and put in your mouth. There is not any, you're not going to test positive for D-ball because you ate a hot dog, right? It's not the situation that it is with the Combuterol in Mexico. But they say, hey, we accept your invitation, we accept your explanation, and they let him fight the same day. And then Eddie Hearn just bowls over him, pushes over, puts him on the undercard of the Anthony Joshua Andy Ruiz fight, looking just disgusting, way out like he's been depressed for months because people now know that he's a cheat, right? And is, whatever, man, looked terrible in that fight. But they say, they just basically repeat their same finding a couple days before the fight so that, and he's allowed to fight. But Eddie Hearn basically either Eddie Hearn knew that that's what they were going to do when he put him on the card, or he just pretty much spit in their eye like, you're going to do it anyway. You're going to do what I tell you to do. And they let him fight. Then you also have the situation that's going on, not just with, the British Boxing Board of Control. You got a situation that's going on with the WBC. With the WBC, and I understand that there's a rationale behind this, behind raising the acceptable levels of Combuterol in your system, because there's so much Combuterol in the meat in Mexico. But still, what you're doing is you legalize masking. All they have to do is they just microdose Combuterol. Because, hey, man, I can have it in my system and it's in the meat. So as long as when I'm tested, it's underneath that level, then, hey, man, I'm good to go. So you might have people that ain't even eating that meat. They decide, or they do, and they're like, hey, man, you might as well because everybody else is. You might as well because everybody else is. It is just it's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And in a combat sport as well, there was a streak. You remember the streak of time when it seemed like every guy Deontay Wilder fought tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. It was like, geez, another one? Somebody else popped dirty? 1, 2, 3. It's ridiculous, man. And for Top Rank but now Top Rank is gonna just go on ahead and say, hey man, we're in the business, and that's what the business is. And that's what, hey man, we got to make our money. We're gonna stay in business. This is a viable heavyweight, and if we don't sign them, somebody else will. There you go. And then what Jarrell Big Baby Miller said is accurate. The bad guy wins. The cheaters win. And the guys that aren't cheating lose. I was remember in the 90s, and when all of this stuff really started pushing, steroids in sports has been around, probably since, I know the use of steroids as a performance enhancing drug goes back to the 50s, but that was more related to it was developed in the military. But it really started getting kicked off in mass, from what I understand, with mass consumption of it in sports in the 80s, in the early 1980s, and then it got elevated in the 90s, and now it's just absolutely out of control, man. But hey man, if nobody cares, shoot, man, it is what it is. But what I meant to say was that I remember when everybody's like, oh, athletes today are just bigger, faster, stronger, right? In baseball, right? Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire are knocking it out of the park because these guys are getting bigger, faster, stronger. And it's these advanced training techniques. No, dude, these people are cheating. Okay? They're just cheating. They're just doping up. They're doping up. They're cheating. That's what it is. It's not like human beings have gotten bigger, faster, stronger. None of that crap. Steroid use has gotten more rampant. That's what the answer to that is. And Big Baby Miller is right. The bad guys win. Anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.